All right, good evening and welcome to the Mayor and Council meeting of Monday, September the 15th. Councilmember Steve Farrow is joining us this evening via Zoom.
Good to see y'all.
Okay, and you can hear us, Steve?
I can.
Right. Council members, we'll ask Mr. Lama to lead us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice.
Okay. Council members, you have before you an agenda. At this time, I will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Do we have any public comment this evening? Okay, well, thank you. All right. Dr. Luthgart? If you will come to either microphone, that way we can record either one you want to. That way, sometimes people don't want their back to the audience, so it's whichever you prefer. Yes, sir. Just make sure you hit the button over there and it'll start recording.
Good evening. Thank you for this opportunity to speak. My name is John Luthgart. I'm a biology professor at Dalton State. And I just had some concerns about item number 14, which is the General Professional Services Agreement at GMC Heritage Point. So I've spent a lot of time on that property where the bridge is proposed, and a lot of time waist deep in the wetlands. We've had a lot of student projects there, sampling turtles and things such as that. So I'm quite familiar with that area. This is a very large wetland, and it's inundated for much of the year. The roadbed that passes through there is often under at least a foot of water. It's got a really extensive floodplain. And as I think most people are aware of these days, that Mill Creek is the home for a federally threatened species of fish named the tri-spot darter, a state endangered fish. So, you know, manipulations to Mill Creek are of concern to me for that reason. Also, I've been involved as a member of Dalton State faculty with a project, which one of my colleagues will speak about, that's doing a restoration in the floodplain of that area. This is a project that's multi-year. It's involved U.S. Fish and Wildlife, the Georgia DNR, the Tennessee Aquarium, UGA Botanical Garden, Dalton State. And so we've been working on restoration of that area. And so it just strikes me that maybe this project might be in kind of opposition to the effort to conserve that area. So those are my concerns.
Thank you, sir. Would your colleague like to speak next before we offer any comment? Okay. All right, Dr. Wilms.
Hello, City Council. Thank you for the opportunity to share with you tonight. I'm a retired elementary middle school science teacher and also manager of a 700-acre nature preserve owned by the Indiana Audubon Society. I've had the good fortune to become associated with Park Creek Elementary School as a school gardener, and I'm now working in association with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife grant to continue the rehabilitation efforts of the pollinator gardens and the forest that surrounds Park Creek and adjoins the proposed bridge in item 14. I see some opportunities and concerns that I'd like to share with you. The opportunity to responsibly develop this project is potentially exciting. I've worked, as John mentioned, with the United States Fish and Wildlife Service, the Tennessee Aquarium, University of Georgia, the Coosa River Basin Initiative, Dalton State College. Lost my notes. Limestone RC&D, and many volunteers to help improve the habitat around Park Creek property. We have been excited to see many native plants reemerging in these cleared areas, And I invite anybody that wants to come and take a walk through the woods to see what it has as a potential to come on down. I also see the opportunity for the proposed bridge project to expand similar efforts in the green space that surrounds that bridge. Making the Mill Creek waterway healthier for wildlife can also provide a destination for human health by providing greater interactions with nature. Another opportunity could be to connect that green space with other greenways already established in Dalton. Could a larger Mill Creek Greenway come to fruition? It would benefit nature as well as provide humans with recreation. Obviously, I have a bias towards bringing nature into urban zones. Try and think about New York's Central Park in the future. As a former educator working at Park Creek Elementary, I also have some other concerns and questions. Has a traffic study been proposed that will look at the impacts for residents living on Hale Bowen Drive, which is not a large motorway? How will traffic changes impact Park Creek safety? How will student pickup and drop off be accommodated with the increased traffic? Right now, during such times, an entire lane of that road is basically obscured with parents picking up their children. Will there be speed bumps to slow traffic? Has anybody looked at what kind of cut-through traffic the people might expect with larger trucks? Are there going to be sidewalks on the bridge? Will there be bike lanes on the bridge? And lastly, has there been any proposed event for Park Creek parents and community members to talk about the potential for increased traffic, or is this the event? Thank you very much.
Thank you to both you gentlemen for your comments. We have your contact information, and City Administrator Andrew Parker, who's also our former Public Works Director, and our head, Steve Roberts of Parks and Recreation, will be following up with you gentlemen. You're welcome to wait until after the meeting, or if you need to leave sooner, one or both of these gentlemen can phone you and set up a time to talk in the next business day. So we have your contact info. We appreciate you coming this evening. All right. Next, we have staff reports. Are there any this evening?
There are none this evening, Madam Mayor.
Okay. All right. So we have some nice things on our agenda for this evening that are exciting to celebrate. First, we have Constitution Week recognition of September the 17th through the 23rd. Ms. Bailey, Ms. McFarland, or? Yes, ma'am. Hi. So I will, if there's, do we have any?
Bernadette.
Oh, have anything to? Let Ms. McFarland give me 1 minute and I'll see what I'm supposed to have here. Let's go ahead and move to Nancy. Oh, I've got it here. Okay. Thank you so much. I will walk down front and we'll read this together, Ms. McFarland. Do this. Thank you for being here this evening. Whereas September 17th, 2025 marks the 238th anniversary of the drafting of the Constitution of the United States of America by the Constitutional Convention, and whereas every anniversary of the Constitution provides a historic opportunity for all Americans to learn about and to reflect upon the rights and privileges of citizenship and its responsibilities. And whereas it is fitting and proper to accord official recognition to this magnificent document and its memorable anniversary and to the patriotic celebrations which will commemorate it. And whereas Public Law 915 guarantees the issuing of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States of America, designating September 17th through 23rd as Constitution Week. Now therefore be it resolved, I, Annalee Sams, Mayor of the City of Dalton, Georgia, hereby proclaim the week of September 17th through the 23rd, 2025 as Constitution Week, and urge all citizens to study the Constitution and reflect on the privilege of being an American with all the rights and responsibilities which that privilege involves. Thank you, Ms. McFarland, for coming this evening. Okay. We will get the signed nice copy to you shortly, okay? All right, so thank you for being here. I will get that to you, okay? Oh, excuse me, I've got that, okay. All right, next this evening, we've got lots of guests here this evening to celebrate good things. All right, Nancy Trejo, 30 years of service with the Dalton Housing Authority. So it looks like there's a lot of folks here to celebrate with Nancy. So if you guys all want to come up, we'll do this and I think take a couple of photos. We'll all go down here and do this. This is exciting to celebrate 30 years. That's awesome. And the people, congratulations. Okay. All right. So it's our privilege on behalf of the mayor and council to present this certificate of recognition. On behalf of the mayor and council of the city of Dalton, I hereby extend my sincere congratulations to Nancy Trejo on the occasion of 30 years of dedicated service to the Dalton Housing Authority, now WellHouse Dalton. Whereas Nancy has faithfully served the Housing Authority for 30 years, where she is well known and deeply trusted by residents and the community, and where her personable spirit, welcoming nature, and consistent helpfulness have set an example of service and compassion. Now therefore be it resolved, I, Annalee Sams, Mayor of the City of Dalton, Georgia, hereby honor and recognize Nancy for 3 decades, it's a long time, of dedicated service and her lasting contributions to the well-being of our community. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand on this, the 15th day of September, 2025. Nancy, congratulations. Say anything if you want to.
Well, I really was not prepared for this, but I want to thank everyone for the opportunity. I do love my job and I do love the people. So with that said, I'm just ready to keep working, to keep giving what I have to the community, to the people, to my coworkers. I love my my bosses, and I really appreciate everyone for being here tonight. And thank you so much. Have a good evening.
Okay. It's nice to celebrate good stuff. All right, council members, you have before you mayor and council minutes of the meeting of August 18th, 2025. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved to.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, you also, item number 5, minutes of the special called mayor and council meeting of August 25th, 2025. I will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
A motion,
Second.
second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. This is what I think a lot of us have been waiting for. Under new business, Resolution 25-16 to honor the life and legacy of Mayor James A. Middleton. All right. Do you have, I'll read. Andrew has it? Okay. So what I think we'll do is we'll come down front and do this. And I know we're going to then take a break and do a lot of photos, but I can read it from here. I think that might be the easiest. Whereas James Andrew Jim Middleton, Mayor Middleton, grew up in Whitfield County and graduated from Dalton High School in 1953. Whereas Mayor Middleton was a leader in the carpet sample industry, as well as the insurance and financial planning fields. Whereas Mayor Middleton dedicated many years of his life to this community by serving on municipal boards and commissions, including serving on the Civil Service Commission, now known as the Public Safety Commission, from 1973 to 1984. Whereas Mayor Middleton then served the city of Dalton well as a city council member and then as its mayor from 1988 to the year 2000. Whereas Mayor Middleton had a passion for public service and was an enthusiastic supporter of Dalton in all that he did. Whereas Mayor Middleton made significant contributions to this community, which continue to be enjoyed by all, including through his support of the Dalton Convention Center, his efforts to complete Al Rollins Park, the purchase of Heritage Point Park, and many other projects that he pursued during his tenure. Whereas Mayor Middleton's service and leadership were invaluable to the city and its residents. Whereas the mayor and council of the city of Dalton have determined that Mayor Middleton and the legacy that he has left to the community are worthy of great honor and recognition. Now therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council of the city of Dalton hereby recognize the distinguished service of Mayor Middleton to the city of Dalton by dedicating the baseball and softball fields at Heritage Point Park in his memory. Be it further resolved that the baseball and softball fields at Heritage Point Park shall hereafter be known as the Jim Middleton Fields at Heritage Point Park. Such resolutions to take effective immediately upon their adoption. So we'll come down front and give you guys something, okay? Yeah. Guys, Tyree. Right. So we have more of these, but we have these three framed tonight. And so when we have really perfect weather, we'll get everyone out there and finish this off, and then we'll vote on it this evening. But Mrs. Middleton, we are so proud to be here this evening to give this to you, and you are very welcome, or anyone from your family if you wish to say anything. But we are all grateful for everything Mayor Middleton did for this community. So we have these for you, and we have more of them being made. So okay. So proud of you. Your heart.
I'll just say one little thing. This is so sweet, so precious. And it just thrills my heart that he's being honored in such a way because he loved the city. And what I had to do today, I had to go by the cemetery and tell him about it because something told me, you need to go tell Jimbo. So I went by and I told him all about it. And thank you all so much. This is so special for me and my sweet family as we carry on and love this city. Thank you.
Join you guys? Yeah, we'll be fine.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Make sure we vote the right way. Unless they said some bad. Can we please put the screen up to show Councilmember Farrow? He was out of town this evening, but I think he wanted to share a few comments. Okay, Steve, we can hear you.
Thank you, Mayor. I think I'm frozen.
Can we make it just a little louder, Jorge? We're working on our sound here, Steve. Just give us 1 second.
Sure.
Okay, try it. There you go.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm sorry that I couldn't actually be there in person. This trip was planned, you know, a long time before this was put on the agenda, but I knew it was in the making and certainly, you know, in full support of what we're doing. I was fortunate enough to grow up with the Middleton family. And then as an adult, when I was in the legislature, Mayor Middleton was the mayor of Dalton throughout my tenure down in Atlanta in the legislature. He was such a great public servant, and you've named many of the things that he was responsible for as a leader of the city. One of the things that wasn't actually in the proclamation that I think one of his greatest contributions is figuring out some creative ways to finance the city. And I'm not going to go into detail, but some creative ways to finance the city that have saved the taxpayers millions and millions and millions of dollars and have allowed us to continue to prosper and do all the wonderful things we've done here as a city. But what a legacy he has left the community, what a legacy he has left his family, and what a wonderful, wonderful family you are. And it just brought tears to my eyes a minute ago. And I so much look forward to being there in person when the fields are actually dedicated. But again, my congratulations, and it's certainly something that is well deserved. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Farrow, and technology is a great thing, isn't it?
It is.
Okay. Do we want to take just a quick recess if anyone wishes to leave?
Once we take the vote.
Yes. All right, make sure we vote the right way. Council members, for item number 6, resolution 25-16 to honor the life and legacy of Mayor James A. Middleton, I will entertain a motion.
I vote to approve. I mean, make a motion to approve.
Second.
For a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you guys so very much for being here. And we'll take just a couple of minutes if anyone wishes to take a recess or do more photos outside. You guys. it's nice to celebrate good people that are Nancy Trejo and Mayor Middleton have done really great things for Dalton. All right, council members, we are on to item number 7. Resolution 25-18 to loan funds to the Housing Authority of the City of Dalton and to accept a deed to secure debt granted by the Housing Authority of the City of Dalton. Andrew?
Madam Mayor, I'll present, and certainly city attorney can fill in any gaps as needed. But as you may recall, the Housing Authority of the City of Dalton requested a loan of $1 million for use in connection with the development of the income-based public housing project that we know as Walton Fields Phase 1. Resolution 2518 formalizes this request, and if approved, would provide the $1 million loan, which is allowed under the Georgia Constitution to other public entities. In this particular loan, the City of Dalton would provide $1 million, and it's referred to as a promissory note for the project. The resolution includes a deed to secure debt. That deed to secure debt is attached to an 8.6 acre tract owned by the Housing Authority located at the northeast corner of Fields Avenue and Dozier Street. The promissory note provides that the interest rate will be 1% per annum on said principal sum, and payments will be applied to interest accrued on unpaid principal. The first interest payment would not be due until October 1st, 2028, to allow time for the project to be completed with construction. And at that time, a $30,000 payment will be due. And from then on, $10,000 annual interest payment shall be due on October 1st every year until October 1st, 2045. And at that time, the entire balance of the principal shall be due. There is a provision in the promissory note for repayment of principal early, and that's attached to the Housing Authority's related loan to Walton Communities. And the promissory note provides that half of any payment shall be remitted to the city if such repayments occur. But otherwise, the terms are as I've presented, and we'd be glad to answer any questions.
Any questions or comments of Andrew or of city attorney? Okay, if not, I will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion,
Second.
second, any discussion? If not, all in favor? Any opposed? All right. Item number 8, Resolution 25-19 to authorize participation in opioid settlement agreements with secondary manufacturers.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. So the city was made aware of a new national settlement with the Opioid Trust. This would be the 5th such a settlement, if accepted this evening, that the city has entered into. This new settlement is with the secondary manufacturers listed on the screen, and the Attorney General of the state of Georgia has approved Georgia's participation in such settlement agreement with these secondary manufacturers. The resolution states that it is in the best interest of the City of Dalton to participate in the settlement agreement and receive the settlement funds for the purpose of mitigating the effects of opioid abuse in our community. And as you know, we have worked with several community nonprofits to provide services within the community in regards to the effects that opioids have had. And this resolution does also authorize the city administrator and the CFO to execute any and all documents that may be required to opt in.
All right, any questions or comments of Andrew? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 9, Resolution 25-20, authorizing exchange water, light, and sinking fund, Plant Wansley.
Thank you. This is a resolution for a property exchange. The City of Dalton, or Dalton Utilities, is a part owner in Plant Wansley. It's a coal-fired plant that is now closed. It owns a 1.4% interest. And the owners of that plant, which include Georgia Power, MEAG, and Oglethorpe, have identified a site on that property to build new gas plants to split that up. Dalton Utilities' portion of that would be only 3.3 acres, however. And so Dalton Utilities would be, if this is approved, would be exchanging that ownership interest in that real property for new generation, participation in the new generation plant that is being built by Georgia Power. So that's essentially the transaction. Mr. Buckner and Mr. Minor are here if there are other questions.
Council members, are there any questions or comments? Okay, if not, I will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Item number 10, Resolution 25-21, a resolution to adopt airport ground leasing policy.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. Due to multiple interested parties in leasing land out at the airport for the purpose of building hangars, the Airport Authority asked me to put together a standardized ground leasing policy. So with the help of the city attorney and collaboration with Andrew Parker, appreciate them both. We put this together. The Airport Authority has approved this at their last meeting. And this will basically just be a standardized policy that includes a application and rates, background checks, and that sort of thing, just to standardize the process. Happy to answer any questions about this.
All right, any questions or comments of Andrew? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion,
Second.
second, any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. You've got one more. Item number 11, airport hangar project change order number 5.
So this is change order number 5 with Integrated Builds LLC. This will be, incorporates a small change on the foundation for the T hangar. If you recall, we had to change the manufacturer, which saved us about $100,000. That was change order number 1. And this is, once we got the issue for construction plans on the foundation, it resulted in a $17,654 increase on the foundation. And then we also ran into some drainage issues that we have to install an under drain to take care of. The total cost will be covered by the original project underrun from the change order number 1.
All right, any questions or comments of Andrew? Not, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion, second, any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thanks.
Right. Item number 12, City Hall HVAC project change order number 2.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. This is a fairly straightforward change order on our ongoing HVAC reconstruction project here at City Hall. The folks that are working on the controls identified a need for automated motorized isolation valves for the system to be able to work in an automated fashion. The original plans, I believe, called for manual isolation valves. So the change order is $3,425, and the funding source is the project contingency that we've attached to this project budget.
All right, any questions or comments of Andrew? Not, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, item number 13, Franklin Street and Valley Drive Stormwater Bypass Project change order number 002. Chad?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This change order request is to approve the contract extension with Wright Brothers Construction Company for the Franklin and Valley Stormwater Bypass Project. The total time requested is 42 calendar days and is necessary to allow for Dalton Utilities to perform a water line upgrade within the construction area, which will slightly delay the completion of the project. Performing the water line upgrade during this time will reduce future road closures, minimize citizen impacts, provide cost savings, and provide a better finished product when complete. The only thing that is changing is the time to complete on the project. The value of the contract will remain the same.
All right. Questions or comments of Chad? All right. I will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
A motion, a second, any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 14, General Professional Services Agreement with Goodwin Mills Kaywood LLC for Heritage Point Park improvements. Steve?
Good afternoon. This is seeking approval to move forward with Goodwin Mills Kaywood, which is a GMC, with a proposal for conceptual design services to develop a schematic plan, which will propose improvements, including, but not limited to, including a multi-use path and trail, a roadway to connect Heritage Point, both complexes via the wooded area behind the baseball and soccer fields. Owner, we've looked at providing topo and everything, but the scope of services will be that trail connection with the baseball and softball, Heritage Point, some different amenities such as shade improvements, concession stand building renovations, and a budget for SPOS project items, trails, and future roadway. And this would also include a cost estimate worksheet for the Georgia Outdoor Stewardship Program. My mind just went blank. The grant for that, and then a grant, the master plan for that same grant. Also looking at concession stand and restroom refreshes, with that buildings being roughly 20 years old. It's just time. And then field lighting, converting those field lights to LED and with a budget. So most of this is for us to be able to get a budget prepared for that grant and kind of see what we're looking at as far as that overall cost.
And I would just add, Mayor and Council, this is the improvements to Heritage Point Park were part of the 2024 SPLOST. It was a named project that the voters approved. The timeliness of what's being requested this evening, as Mr. Roberts shared, was we're attempting to pursue a Georgia Outdoor Stewardship Program grant. The pre-applications are due in the middle of next month. And so this is not actually to do the full design construction documents for the project. It's to simply develop a conceptual master plan. As you may recall, in the early 2000s, the master plan for this site showed some connections from where the soccer fields are today to the Dalton Junior High, TDA, Heritage campus. Some of those were like one-lane vehicular pedestrian bridges. So the proposed general services agreement tonight is simply to do the conceptual master plan and get some cost estimates together. And also part of that is to do the road feasibility study. So it's not to design the road. We're not committing to a road because it very well may be determined that the road is infeasible based on any constraints that were mentioned earlier. But I do think it given the fact that the purpose of the Outdoor Stewardship Program is land stewardship and conservation, all of the concerns referenced earlier will have to be addressed. The idea would be to create some of the opportunities for both schools and all the environmental work that has taken place so far, engage all those stakeholders to be part of this. And this would be the time to do that, and certainly get feedback from all the stakeholders at both schools, plus all the other entities referenced. We have a touch base with the Limestone Valley RC&D, Stephen Bonico, who will help us work through this along with any other interested stakeholders. But tonight, the important part is that we're not necessarily committing anything other than the feasibility assessment of the road and to develop a conceptual master plan in an effort to try to pursue this funding source, which is really attached to land stewardship and conservation.
All right. Any questions or comments of Andrew or Steve? If not, I will entertain
Motion to approve.
Second.
have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, item number 15. All right, Ethan, we have a first reading of ordinance 25-20, the request of J. Figueroa Construction to rezone from heavy manufacturing M2 to rural residential R5, a tract of land totaling 0.25 acres located at 911 Riverbend Road, Dalton, tax parcel 12-255-03-029.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. The rezoning before us here is a fairly straightforward one where they're requesting to rezone from heavy manufacturing to rural residential. Purpose of this rezoning was simply to be able to reinstall electrical service to an existing single-family dwelling on the subject property for reoccupation or remodeling as well. And that would not be able to be accomplished because as a legal non-conforming property, as it's currently zoned, that non-conforming time lapsed. So it's been more than 12 months since that property had been detached from electrical service, and therefore, in order to reestablish that, property would need to be rezoned in a conforming state. So the R5 zone district would be the appropriate zone district at this location. When we look at the zoning map, we do see a lot of heavy manufacturing, but you'll note that at 1/4 of an acre, the subject property certainly does not lend itself for heavy manufacturing. So it certainly made more sense from the zoning map standpoint. When we look at the future development map and the comprehensive plan, it's intended to be an area known as town neighborhood revitalization. So this rezoning fits, the proposed use of the property fits with the plan and with the zoning. So we found absolutely no issues with rezoning this property to R5. Recommended approval at the staff level. At the public hearing, we heard no opposition. Planning Commission recommended a unanimous approval. Be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions or comments of Ethan? If not, this will be eligible to be voted on at our next meeting, as it is a first reading. Okay, Ethan, number 16, first reading ordinance 25-21, the request of BC Acquisitions LLC to rezone from rural residential R5 and light manufacturing M1 to 0 lot line residential R4, a tract of land totaling 13 acres located on American Drive, Conway Street, and Threadmill Road, Dalton, Georgia, parcels 12-275-05-060, parcel 12-275-05-063, parcel 12-275-05-064.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The rezoning before us here is slightly more complicated than the previous, more complex, I should say. Basically, the request, of course, affects two existing zone districts, that being light manufacturing and the rural residential zone district. And those being rezoned entirely into the 0 lot line R4 zone district. And what that essentially means is what's being requested is 0 lot line. And that doesn't mean 0 lot line, for instance, like in downtown where the buildings are actually touching each other wall to wall. It just means that the setbacks are about 10 feet. So the buildings are only, about 20 feet apart. So buildings are close together in this zone district. It's the highest density single family detached zone district. So each house would occupy a single lot. They're just very small lots and the houses are very close together. So in the current R5 zone district, which is the majority of this property, you can have, for instance, you can have duplex dwellings on pretty small tracts because of sewer service in the area. So the unit per acre density is about the same as what it would be if it was left zoned as R5. But again, this would limit the future use of this property to only single family detached. And when we look at the majority of adjacent properties, that's what we see, single family detached residential. So this would be sort of the next generation of development in this particular area from the existing kind of historic neighborhood. And so based on that, we saw a good continuity with the existing land use, zone district that made sense, comprehensive plan made sense, again, did not cite any issues. And while it's not what would be their final plat, They did give us a fair amount of due diligence work in a preliminary site plan showing up to about 58 residential tracts to be developed on the subject property with a significant amount of land set aside for both stormwater and green space. And during the public hearing at the Planning Commission, after the staff recommendation to approve, we did not hear any opposition from the public. There was concern raised about potential environmental hazards on the property from a previous use. Petitioner did state that they had already done a phase 1 environmental and will be doing a phase 2. And that phase 2 environmental will dictate whether or not they will move forward with the construction of this project. Staff recommendation was to approve. Planning Commission was a unanimous recommendation to approve. Of course, if the rezoning is to be approved, then it would have to come back to the Planning Commission with a preliminary and a final plat to ensure all the other standards for roadways, sidewalks, stormwater, green space, et cetera, would be met. We'd be happy to answer any questions.
On these 0 lot lines, what is like the street frontage requirement?
I believe that is 20 feet front setback. So that is subject to the phase 2 environmental being completed.
When is that expected?
They did not give us an estimate on when that will be complete, but we understand based on the petitioner's comments at the public hearing that that is underway. Phase 1 has been completed, but that merited a phase 2.
City Attorney, or is it appropriate for us to, this is just a first reading tonight, but are we to wait on the studies to be completed before?
Sorry, I believe you can do it subject to, but we'll look into that before the second reading.
Okay, so between now and October, we'll have a meeting. We'll hopefully have a little more information on that. Are there any other questions or comments of Ethan? Okay, that'll be eligible to be voted on at the October council meeting, first meeting. All right, item number 17 is an executive session. And I would share with everyone, you're welcome to stay. The only action we will have will be closing the meeting. There will be no other items on the agenda when we return. No items to be taken on to be voted on. And to my knowledge, there will be no announcements made. The next meeting is October 6th, Monday, October 6th. Thank you everyone for coming. This time I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of personnel.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, being no supplemental business remaining before this body and no announcements, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Have a motion, second, any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned.